All right, so I'm back making another one of these talking videos. It's been a little bit, but as you guys know, I am stable but not settled. And so trying to find the time, energy to make these videos is sometimes a challenge, but here I am. In this one, I kind of, just wanted to talk a little bit more about, you know, the struggles that I was having these past couple of months and how because of the struggles, it has helped me be able to relate a lot more to my clients past and current because for the first time in my life, this was the first time in my life where I felt like I had the least amount of control over my situation when it comes to working out and my nutrition and everything that relates to fitness. I've had ups and downs when it comes to that, but most of them were my fault, right? Because I, chose to eat unhealthy, or I chose to, indulge in things I shouldn't be indulging in. But this was the first time where I felt like no matter how hard I tried, like it just was almost impossible to be consistent with my nutrition, consistent with my sleep, consistent with my workouts. It just got crazy. Like I said, I don't want to get into too much detail about where everything was at, but or where my life was at, but it just came to the point where it's like I tried so hard. And like when I was getting about 1 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours max of sleep, but usually about 1 to 2 hours of sleep a day. And when you don't get enough sleep, that really, really affects everything, right? It affects how you think, it affects your emotions, your mentality, it affects your motivation, your discipline. It affects, even your hormones and like how you choose to eat and what you eat. It just affects everything. And so because of the lack of sleep I was getting, it kind of like spiraled. And so, it's hard for me to keep my nutrition up. And then even finding the energy and time to work out. Yeah, even when I was working out consistently, my workouts were trash. Yes, I was posting on Instagram, posting on YouTube, the shorts and stuff like that. So you'll see workouts, but the workout effort was very minimal. I was just doing something just so I could have something to, post. But the actual effort that I was putting into my workouts was very, very minimal. And they were terrible. I really wasn't pushing myself and I couldn't. It was like, well, I felt like I was giving my best, but my best was like 10%. Like I just couldn't do it. And then my nutrition started falling off. I wasn't able to get the amount of protein. I stopped taking creatine altogether. It just got out of control. It's just a spiral downhill. And so for the first time, I was able to finally completely empathize and relate to my clients that I've had in the past that have struggled with the same thing I was struggling with at that moment. Because I've had clients in the past that would tell me like, oh yeah, my work schedule is crazy and I'm only getting 2 or 3 hours of sleep and or because of the life situation, because of the kids and because of this or that, they're just not able to get in the amount of workouts, or they're not able to get enough sleep, whatever it was, were struggling. And my mindset was like, I tried to sympathize, but in my mind, I was like, well, there's a will, there's a way. And they're probably just not disciplined enough or motivated enough. Although motivation is not, you don't want to use motivation. You want to use discipline, but that's what I was thinking. So I was thinking, okay, I was like, what can I do as a trainer to help my clients, despite their, lack of sleep or despite their, crazy schedules? How do I help them keep, stay on track? But I couldn't figure it out. And me being in that situation myself realized, yes, sometimes there's nothing you can do. That sometimes life is just the way life is going to be. And sometimes you have zero control over a situation. You're only going to get a couple hours of sleep. Your work schedule is going to be all over the place. You got kids here and there, demanding this and that. Like you just have no control. And all you can do is your best. And sometimes your best feels like not that much, but and some days you can't do anything. Some days you're not able to get a work in at all. And it is what it is. And so the one thing that I did learn from this experience that I had was not to beat yourself up over it, and everything is temporary. So you might be in a position right now where maybe your work is very demanding, and you're not getting sleep, or your life is just demanding, or you're getting pulled in every direction and you feel like it's kind of hopeless, and then you might stop your workouts because your schedule's all over the place. But my suggestion going through it myself is just saying that just keep trying and do your best. And some days you're not going to work out. Maybe you might go a week or two without working out. Maybe your nutrition might fall off and you're ending up eating in and out every single day because that's all you have time for, just to quickly grab something and get out of there. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, like, just try to make sure that you're focusing on yourself and your well-being and your betterment, and doing everything you can to try to better yourself. So you're going to have stretches of time where things aren't going to be good. Things might be very terrible, but you just got to stick it out and push through it. And even though, like I said, right now I'm in a stable position, my life is not perfect, not even close, right? And it's always still up and down. It's going to be crazy. And I'm still not getting the adequate sleep I should be getting. I'm getting better sleep than I was getting before, but still I'm not getting the adequate sleep that I need to be getting, even for what I'm doing right now. Some days I get more, some days I get less. Like so far today, I've only had like about an hour and a half of sleep, and that's not even 4 hours, like 1 hour over here, and then about a broken 30 minutes over here. I'm about to sleep after I make this video, but still my sleep hasn't been the best. So, it's still a work in progress, and I'm still doing the best that I can. I try my best to lead by example, but my example isn't going to be perfect. And that's another thing I learned. No one's going to be perfect. Life is not going to be perfect. We just got to do the best we can, and sometimes that looks terrible, but we just got to keep pushing. Anyways, that's all I want to say for this video right now. So to all my clients in the past, I apologize if I didn't seem too empathetic to you guys, but I completely understand where you're coming from now. I'm still going through it, and so hopefully in the future I could be a better trainer and do better to be more understanding and empathetic to your guys' situation. With that being said, I appreciate all you guys for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the things that really help the algorithm and get my videos out there as much as I can. It'll really help me out so I could do less Ubering and more training. You guys might want to invest in an at-home gym if I can. But right now I'm just trying to survive, so everything will help. All the other links are in the description. I'll put those in there. And so with that being said, as usual, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.